Traveling solo as a female, it can be done and done well with a few tips at your beck and call. And a big thank you to City Beauty for this sponsored post, but more about that later in the video. All right, gang, I recently returned from a whirlwind weekend trip to Isla Mujeres off the northern coast of Cancun in Mexico, but I wanted to share a few tips for women who want to travel solo. It's been a learning curve for me since losing Mr. Style 4 years ago. Not only putting my life back together after being a couple for close to 36 years, but I've also had to figure out how to live alone, run my household and business with just me, myself, and I in charge. I have to be honest that being single has its challenges, but I'm happy to report I'm in a good space and place. It takes time, effort, and patience to rebuild your life, but it can be done one day at a time. There's a good reason Rome wasn't built in a day is a cliche that makes a whole lot of sense. Traveling is one of the activities I've had to think long and hard about as a single woman. But travel is in my DNA since I studied abroad in Spain many moons ago. And Mr. Style and I lived overseas for over a decade. I can't tell you how many miles I've logged in, flitting off to Vietnam or China, Australia, Japan. One of my favorite quotes from Mark Twain sums up my love of travel. Travel is fatal to prejudice. Amen. Opening yourself up to new experiences and new cultures is the very thing that keeps us living a vibrant life. But traveling alone has its own concerns. First, there are logistics, booking the flights, hotels, transportation, activities, etc. It can be exhausting. But my last trip to Isla Mujeres, I had the pleasure to celebrate Heather DiPietro's launch of She's the World, a travel company dedicated to helping female travelers navigate the world through escorted tours. What I loved about this past trip spent on Isla Mujeres was that I didn't have to worry about a thing. Transportation was arranged for me from the airport to the ferry to the island, and we didn't miss a beat from the time the plane touched down in Mexico to the time I checked into the hotel, which takes the stress out of travel, right? Sometimes it's just the logistics of travel that can be complicated. Then, there's the airport itself with long security lines to navigate or questions about what to pack in your carry-on. And we haven't even gotten to a packing list which needs to reflect the vacation activities. Phew, it's a lot. So today I thought I would share tips for women who want to travel solo, because I know there are many of you who want to do just that. It can be intimidating if you've not traveled alone before, but there's a first time for everything. I've always believed that knowledge is power, and the more knowledge we have on a particular subject, like travel, the easier it will be. Tip number 1. Choose a tour exclusively for women. This is where a company like She's the World will come in handy. My recent trip to Isla Mujeres was seamless thanks to Heather and her team. Everything was planned for me, from airline tickets, transportation, resort, and activities. And the second tip, research the best destinations for women. Can you believe there are destinations and specific trips that are particularly interesting to women? Do you like to cook? Paris and their plethora of cooking classes is a possibility. Or is safety a concern? Iceland is considered one of the safest travel destinations. Maybe a bike-friendly city is of interest. Then Salzburg, Austria might suit your fancy as it's a bike-friendly city. Whatever you think is most important to you, go ahead and do your research. And the next tip is surviving the flight. A comfy but cute travel outfit is a must if you're cramped for hours in an airplane seat with the air conditioning blasting. It takes a toll on your body. So loose-fitting clothes is key to stay comfortable and keep your circulation flowing. Spanx Air Essentials have been my go-to travel uniform for the past few trips. My go-tos are the Spanx Air Essential tapered pants with a matching top, or the Air Essential jumpsuit with matching cocoon cardigan. But I also love Youre joggers and a cashmere hoodie. And I also pack a few refreshing items in my carry-on bag: hairbrush, toothbrush, and breath mints. The devil is in the details, so it's always the little things that do wonders. So stay hydrated, drink water, and avoid coffee and alcohol on the plane. Commercial airplanes have low humidity, so it's of utmost importance to keep your skin and body hydrated, which in turn will keep your jet lag in check if you stay well hydrated. But it's not just our water consumption that keeps us hydrated. Today, I'm thrilled to partner with City Beauty that carries a few of my favorite travel beauty products to tuck inside my carry-on bag. My lips are always the first telltale sign of dehydration, so I'm loving City Lips Matte, a non-drying lip cream that not only gives long-lasting color, but it plumps, smooths, and hydrates all day thanks to a moisture-rich hyaluronic acid, conditioning extracts, and protein-supporting peptides that nourish my lips. And it's available in 3 shades. But if you prefer a lip gloss to a lipstick, and I do sometimes, it really is, for whatever reason, I just really like the shine and I really like the moisturizing effects that it has too. So City Beauty has you covered with their City Beauty lips, available in 14 shades. This lip gloss is perfect for travel as it delivers deep hydration for instant plumping and long-lasting comfort. Since my skin dries out so much on flights, I always pack hand lotion that I can apply everywhere for extra moisture. City Beauty Restoring Hand Treatment deeply hydrates my hands with the aid of a botanical extract blend, keeping them soft and supple. And if you've never tried City Beauty before, now's the perfect time to shop City Beauty. Get 30% off site-wide from May 26th through May 30th with code BETHSTYLE. And they carry many, many of my favorite beauty products, like their line smoothing hydro mask that I use first thing after I check into my hotel room for a little pick-me-up. And all the links will be down below in the description box. But again, it's 30% off site-wide with code BETHSTYLE. And my next tip for female solo travelers is eating alone. Just because you're traveling solo doesn't mean you have to order room service in your room. Instead, eat at the bar or a communal table. You'll be surprised at how friendly the bartenders are, as well as your neighbor on either bar stool to the right and left. Next tip, book a local tour or language class. Years ago, when my kiddos were teenagers, I specifically sent them to a foreign country and I booked a language class for them. That way they had the opportunity to study the language, have an activity that they went off to each and every day during the week, and then they were able to meet their fellow students and their language instructor. So, tours are also a great way to explore a new city, especially if you have an engaging guide. But again, just like my kiddos learned when they signed up for a language class, that could totally be something that's really in your wheelhouse. And my next tip for traveling solo as a female is don't be afraid, be self-aware. When you tell your friends and family you're setting off on a trip all by your lonesome, don't be surprised if someone tells you how dangerous it can be for a woman to travel alone. Of course, solo travelers need to be cautious, but don't let unnecessary fear-mongering deter you. The world is a pretty amazing place, and there's no need for us to miss it. Just be self-aware of your surroundings and the people around you. Solo female travelers have to walk the line between confidence and carefree. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and a thumbs up, because that so helps the channel grow and more women exactly like you can discover the content. And the next tip is always give location updates to your family and friends. When you're traveling, it's easy to get caught up in the moment and forget to provide updates to friends and family back home. Be safe, and in the meantime, keep our loved ones from worrying with a quick update each day. And the next tip is arrive at locations during the day. Set yourself up for success and arrive at your destination during the day when it's easy to access your surroundings. Things are always a bit more dicey at night, so there's no need to complicate your trip by arriving after dark. And this is an important tip. Don't walk with your headphones in. I love to listen to audiobooks or music while I'm on a walk at home, especially when my German Shepherd Oscar is by my side. But I leave my earphones at the hotel when I'm walking while on a trip. Headphones can make us less aware of our surroundings, and it can signal a would-be mugger that we have a smartphone in our pocket. And the next tip really dovetails on to not walking with your headphones in, because you do want to have a phone at your beck and call, because then you can pretend to talk on the phone. When you are walking alone somewhere and feel uncomfortable, pretend you're on the phone. That would-be mugger will most likely ignore you for fear that you could tip someone off. And the next tip is learn a bit of the local language. But going the extra mile and learning a few key phrases will go a long way to build trust with the locals and ask for help if you need it. At the very least, we should be able to say hello, thank you, or good morning in the local language. Thanks so much for stopping by today. Of course, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.